Welcome to G Fun Facts Online, where we dig into the fascinating corners of history and science. Today, we're time traveling back to the Bronze Age, roughly 3,300 to 1200 BCE. Now, when you think Bronze Age, you probably picture mighty warriors and gleaming metal tools, right? But what if I told you that amidst these grand societal shifts, a quieter revolution was happening? One that involves something surprisingly familiar: toys. And even more astonishingly, some of these ancient playthings might just be some of the earliest examples of mass-produced goods. Stick around as we unpack the Bronze Age toy chest. So what kind of toys kept Bronze Age kids entertained? Archaeologists have found a delightful array. Imagine tiny versions of adult tools and weapons, miniature axes, daggers, and even little household utensils. These weren't just for fun. They were likely educational, helping kids learn the ropes of their future roles. Often found in children's graves, they were clearly cherished possessions. Animal figurines were huge back then, crafted from clay, bone, or sometimes metal. Think domestic animals like pigs and cattle, but also wild ones like monkeys and birds. Some were super realistic, others more stylized. For example, in Moskowicz, Poland, two 3,500-year-old clay pig figurines were found in a Bronze Age house, each made slightly differently, perhaps by two different little artists. Dolls, a classic through the ages, also make an appearance. In Siberia, a 4,500-year-old soapstone doll's head with finely carved features was unearthed from a child's grave. The body, probably made of organic stuff like wood or fabric, didn't survive. Similar dolls have been found in ancient Egypt and the Harappan civilization, made from clay, wood, and linen. And get this, they had wheeled toys, the Bronze Age equivalent of a toy car. A standout discovery is a 5,000-year-old miniature earthenware chariot found in a child's tomb in Turkey. These tiny chariots, sometimes with four wheels, were probably pretty prized, especially among the kids of well-to-do families. The Harappan civilization also had plenty of toy carts, usually made of terracotta. For the littlest ones, there were rattles. These were often clay, hollow, and filled with tiny pebbles or clay bits to make a sound. Some were even painted. And it wasn't all about solitary play. Board games, marbles, and dice, made from materials like agate and onyx, show that structured games and a bit of friendly competition were part of Bronze Age childhood. Now, what were these ancient toys made from? Clay was a big one. It was everywhere and easy to shape. That's why we see so many clay figurines, rattles, and mini pots, especially in places like the Harappan civilization. Wood and bone were also common. While wood doesn't last well, some finds, like the U figurines from Ruskar in Britain, hint at a rich wooden toy-making tradition. Stone, shells, and even metals like copper and bronze were used for more durable or perhaps more prestigious toys. The craftsmanship really varied, from simple figures possibly made by children themselves to more elaborate items crafted by skilled artisans. There is even evidence suggesting kids got hands-on, learning pottery by playing with clay. But here's where it gets really exciting: the dawn of mass production. This brings us to Hama, Syria. Archaeologists re-examined 19 ceramic fragments dug up in the 1930s, long misidentified. Turns out, they are 4,500-year-old clay baby rattles. What's groundbreaking is the evidence suggesting these rattles were mass-produced. Analysis showed they were made from the same clay and using the same professional pottery techniques as bowls and cups from the site. This means skilled potters were making them, likely to be sold in local markets alongside other household ceramics. Their little handles were perfectly sized for an infant's grip, and the soft sound they made was clearly for a baby's amusement. These Hama rattles are the largest group of baby rattles ever found in the Near East. They were discovered in an ordinary residential neighborhood, suggesting widespread use among everyday families. This points to a system where toys weren't just homemade, but were available as commercial products, an early form of mass production catering to families. This idea of standardized production wasn't unique to toys. Other Bronze Age ceramics, like conical cups in the Aegean, also show standardization. But with the Syrian rattles, it seems linked to big societal changes, like urbanization and the rise of household economies, where affordable childcare items became a real need. So, these toys were for fun, but they likely had other roles too. Those miniature tools and weapons? Definitely educational, preparing kids for adult life. Finding certain toys, like miniature metal tools, in burials might indicate social status or mark a developmental stage. Some figurines might have had ritualistic meanings beyond just play. For instance, a figurine of a pagan god found in Siberia was suggested by some to be a child's toy or a rattle to ward off evil spirits. However, the Hama rattles seem pretty clear-cut in their design for infants, highlighting a parental investment in a child's sensory development and well-being, a sentiment that feels incredibly modern. Studying Bronze Age toys gives us a precious window into the world of ancient children. It tells us that childhood was seen as a distinct phase of life. Kids engaged in imaginative play, mimicked adults, and formed attachments to their belongings, just like today. Finding toys in children's graves across so many different cultures speaks volumes about the emotional bonds between parents and children. The apparent mass production of items like the Syrian rattles suggests that even thousands of years ago, there was a market for children's goods. It's a powerful reminder that the core aspects of childhood and the parental instinct to nurture and delight are truly timeless. Every tiny chariot, carefully shaped figurine, or sound-making rattle brings us closer to the children of the Bronze Age, letting us hear the faint but fascinating whispers of their play and their world. And as archaeologists continue to explore and re-examine, who knows what other secrets these ancient toy chests will reveal. That's all for this episode of Fun Facts Online. Join us next time as we uncover more wonders from the past and present. Thanks for listening.